This is how to use a plastic compressor in order to pass GT. A plastic compressor is an innovative tool which can be created in order to compress shredded plastic into sheets, from which new products can be manufactured. The compressor can work with loads of different types of thermoplastics, or plastics that can be recycled. Each type of plastic has its own requirements and measurements that must be taken into account with the use of a plastic compressor. For this video, we will be focusing on requirements for HDPE plastic. Before you begin, make sure that you're wearing proper lab equipment. The tool itself is not dangerous, but it is best to be in appropriate attire. Ensure that you have an overalls or coat, closed-toed shoes, and some gloves for the retrievement of the plastic. The first step is to measure out the needed amount of grams for the filling of your tray. For HDPE, a tray typically takes around 1000 grams of the shredded plastic. Use a thin or light container to weigh out your needed amount. It does not have to be exact, but as close to the needed weight as possible. If you are unsure about the measurements for the tray and the amount of plastic, it is completely okay to experiment. Just try to make sure that the tray is almost full when the plastic is poured into it. Once you have weighed the needed amount of plastic, prepare the tray. Use a cloth to smear everyday cooking oil along the base and sides of the tray. This is so that the plastic doesn't stick to the tray once it begins to melt. Once you have oiled the tray, pour the plastic in it. Once it's all in, use a flat surface tool to level out the plastic and make a consistent height. The tool can be anything, like a brick or a block of wood. When the top of the plastic is flat, the tray is now ready to take the compressor. Before you place the tray into the compressor, make sure that the tray is slightly larger than the press, so that the plastic has room to escape if need be. Place the compressor on top of the plastic, open the door of the oven, and place the tray inside. Try your best to center it, so that when the compression process begins, the sheet does not have different thicknesses. Shut the door and turn on the oven, first to a small heat. As time passes, come back to slowly increase the heat. Keep an eye on the heat and make sure it doesn't surpass 177 degrees Celsius, as that would become too hot for the plastic. As you slowly increase the heat and time passes, increase the height of the tray by using the construction at the bottom. Simply rotate the handle and it will push the compressor up. As well as that, keep checking on the tray, and once it has melted and compressed sufficiently, turn off the oven and remove the tray carefully, with the use of thick gloves. Give it some time to cool, and then remove the plastic from the tray while it has not yet completely solidified, so that it doesn't stick. Let it cool, and then you have a plastic sheet ready to be made into something new. You can now successfully use a plastic compressor independently.